You know, we're always told that financial freedom means chasing this huge $1 million goal. But what if that's not the right place to start? What if the whole game changes way sooner? Today, we're going to talk about a much smaller number that's actually a far bigger deal.
I mean, you've heard this a million times, right? Every financial guru out there tells us to set our sights on that 7-figure prize. And look, it's a great goal to have, for sure. But for most of us, it feels so ridiculously far away that it's just intimidating. It's more likely to paralyze you than to inspire you.
So what if the number that really, truly flips the script on your life isn't $1 million? What if the goal that gives you real power, real options, is something you can actually get your hands on in the next year or two?
Yeah, we're talking about the real tipping point. The amount of money that takes you from constantly playing defense, just trying to survive, to finally playing offense. And it's a number you can actually wrap your head around.
That's it, $20,000. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's not quit my job and move to an island money. And you're right, it's not. But what it is the amount that fundamentally changes the rules of the game. It's the point where your money starts working for you instead of you just working for it. So how on earth is that possible?
Well, let's start by looking at the actual numbers, because this isn't some magic trick. It's just math. It's all about building a foundation that starts to create its own momentum, making every single step you take after that a little bit easier.
Okay, so check this out. Let's say you're saving about $1,000 a month. To get to your first $20,000, it's pretty much all on you. It's your discipline, your hard work, your sacrifice. And it takes roughly 19 months. But the journey to the next $20,000 is actually faster. Why? Because the engine isn't just you anymore. Your money itself has started to chip in.
You can see it right here. That first climb is just tougher. It's steeper. But once you hit that first peak, the magic of compounding starts to kick in, even on a small scale. Think about it. At a pretty average 7% return, that $20,000 is now making you an extra $1,400 a year, without you lifting a finger. That's like getting a free month and a half of savings, just for showing up. Your money is no longer just a goal, it's become your teammate.
And that is the key. You finally break through all that initial friction, and you hit what you could call financial escape velocity. You've got momentum. And that little bit of help, that little push from your own money, does something absolutely incredible. It completely changes the way you think. Because the biggest shift here isn't in your bank account, it's in your head.
This is where it gets really interesting, because this momentum translates into something way more valuable than just dollars and cents. It totally transforms how you make decisions, shifting you from a mindset of fear and scarcity to one of freedom and power.
Before you have that cushion, you're almost certainly living in what you'd call survival mode. You know what I'm talking about? You stay in the job you can't stand because you desperately need that paycheck. You say yes to projects you hate because you're terrified of what happens if you say no. Your choices aren't really choices at all. They're just reactions. They're dictated by necessity, not by what you actually want.
But that $20,000, it changes everything. It becomes what's often called walking away money. Now, it's not enough to retire on, but it's more than enough to live on for months if you had to. And that safety net, that simple cushion, completely flips the power dynamic in almost every area of your life.
Just think about what this really gives you. It's the power to finally say, I quit to a toxic boss that's burning you out. It's the confidence to march into your performance review and negotiate for that raise, because you know you'll be okay if they say no. It's the freedom to maybe take a chance on that side hustle you've been dreaming about, or to handle a sudden car repair or a medical bill without drowning in debt. It is real, tangible control.
So here's the bottom line. Hitting that $20,000 milestone has almost nothing to do with being wealthy. It's about having agency. It's the turning point where you stop playing defense with your life and you finally get to start playing offense. You get to make choices based on what you want, not just what you need to do to get by.
So remember, that first 20 grand isn't just a number in a savings account. It's a tool, it's leverage, it is power. And that leaves us with a really important question. What's the first thing you would change if you had that power in your back pocket right now?